Welcome to the Better Than Success podcast, the podcast for first-generation entrepreneurs and key members of small teams. The podcast dedicated to helping leaders win in every way possible. The podcast that talks leadership, systems, investing, entrepreneurship, teamwork, branding, marketing, and much more. And now your host, entrepreneur, author, real estate investor, and founder of Better Than Success, Nicole Purvy. So we're going to get into it. So I'm really excited, you guys. I'm going to sit down in our little chair, little seating area over here. And I'm going to read off Wallow's bio. We're going to interview him first. I was reading this and I was like smiling. I just wanted to make sure, because sometimes I stumble when I read because my brain be moving too fast. I was like, let me make sure that I don't sound like I'm in the third grade. So I was reading and I was cheesing. Okay. With his first criminal conviction at the age of 11, Wallow 267 went on to spend 5 years out of the juvenile system, in and out of the juvenile system. By the time he reached 17, the Pennsylvania Department of Corrections identified him as inmate DG 2670. While serving his time, he realized he was in prison for being someone he really wasn't. From that moment on, he started embracing his individualism. As Wallow 267 would say, he wasn't in jail, he was in Yale. He wasn't in prison, he was in Princeton. He wasn't in the State Penn, he was in Penn State. I love that. He ran into a cell phone as his sentence was coming to an end. That cell phone helped him to see that the world was bigger than the streets that once dictated his every move. At the age of 37, he walked out of prison February 18, 2017, after serving 20 years for multiple armed robberies and firearm violations. Fast forward to now, Wallow 267 started his journey with no resources or capital. He has found his purpose inspiring the world through his Instagram page. Averaging over 2 million impressions a week, he is most known for his viral videos titled, "Don't Wait Until It's Too Late, and It Costs Too Much to Be a Criminal." As a social media game changer, he will make you think, laugh, and cry, for sure, for sure. Wallow 267 has gained the attention of professional athletes, hip-hop artists, influencers, and Shark Tank's Damon John, giving him the title Street Shark. Wallow 267 owes his own thoughts and is consistently pushing people to believe in his motto, "No one can stop you but you." Welcome to the podcast, you guys, Wallow 267. Hey, Wallow.
You know I'm shy, right?
Yeah, right. You know what? So here's a little tidbit about me. I'm like this weird introvert extrovert. I can get up here and do this, but if I go to an event, if me and Nina go, I'm like, Nina, it's just me and you. I'm gonna talk your head off. So I say all that to say that I watched you, and you the same exact way. Yes, you only talk to about 3 people, but you're an extrovert. We're introvert extrovert. So welcome to the show. I just read off your bio. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Make sure you hold the mic close to you.
Well, we come from a place where everybody do what everybody do. It took me a long time before I realized that I wasn't everybody. You know, in the cities of America, there's this thing going on. You know, me growing up in the 80s in Philly, every day I stepped outside of the house, I seen people that was my heroes. You know, some people look at, kids, they play with toys. They go into Toys R Us to see their heroes. My heroes was on the street corner. They had designer clothes on, jewelry, and luxury cars. Them was the heroes that I seen every day, because I seen the attention and what I thought would be love that the masses was showing them. So I said, I need that. I got to get that. How do I go about getting that? Through crime, I feel as though that was the easiest way for me to be able to elevate within the street culture and be accepted and get the attention that we all want. It took me years before I realized that ain't the route. That wasn't going to be the route. I didn't know that it would cost so much, and majority of the friends that I knew that I was operating outside of the law with, majority of them is dead, I was like one of the last person that's left out of the guys I used to run with. They either dead or doing life or doing big numbers. So it was like, wow, this is what it was all about? It was all about ripping the community up, participating in the genocide that was going on in the cities of America. That's all it was about to me. It wasn't really about the people, it wasn't really about that, but when you in something, you can't see outside. no matter what you went to, so you can't see outside. So I'm sitting there. At the same time, I'm running around in the streets, doesn't know how to read or write. All I knew how to do was, I knew one thing more importantly than anything. Money is God. That's what I knew. I knew at the end of the day, money was God, because that's who everybody prayed to in the inner cities. No matter, even the people that went to church, they prayed to God. And God was money. I need some money. I got to pay my bills. I got to do this. And I saw nothing God worshiped more on this planet Earth than money. So at a young age, I'm like, damn, that's what it is. That's what it is. So as I was young, going to the penitentiary to see my stepfather, he was in the street. He was heavy in the street game. And I remember I used to always couldn't wait to go see him again with my mother. I used to be like, damn, I can't wait to go back into the jail. I couldn't wait. It was in Dallas, Pennsylvania. I used to be happy because there used to be all these other guys that was cool. Some guys that I remember from the streets, some guys that was praised, or I heard their name, and to be able to see them up in person, you'd be like, wow, what's the name? He is a superhero. It was like Marvel Comics, but it was like everybody different dude. He was the person that take everybody out. He was the person that get the money. He was the person that would finesse everybody. It was like a comic book, and I was like, wow, these are my heroes, So what was amazing was I was so much intrigued about going to this place and this was in the 90s. This was in the late 80s. I used to go see my stepfather, and then I was like, man, I just love this place. So every time my mom would say, Mom, when we going back to see him? He's dead too right now. Me and my brother. And this is picture I always look at is me in the yard of the prison. Me, my brother, my little brother, and my stepfather went on a visit. So this was in the 80s, but on February 18th, 1998, that place I used to go visit at, me and my stepfather were cellmates at. So, and then on 2005, me and my brother, they used to come visit this place, we were cellmates there, generational incarceration. So it was like, it's just crazy what you wish for, and I just wanted to come check him out. I ain't want to, and that became my home for decades. So it was like, at the end of the day, I'm just like, wow, this is what it's about. But during my journey, as just doing time and being in the streets, I woke up one day after going through the juvenile system, because the first time I got arrested, it was in June 30th, 1990. I was 11 for 6 days. And then I got arrested the week after that. And then July 7th, I got arrested again for robbery. And then September 19th, 1990, they sent me away for a year. I came back, was home for a couple months, went for another year. So I wound up spending 5 years in the juvenile system. And what was crazy about this, we come from a place where as though we normalize struggle, pain, incarceration. So it was like, oh, it's cool. My homie's there.
This is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. So it was like, you got to understand, I've been on the planet for 38 years. Next month, I'll be 39. I spent 5 years in the juvenile facility. I spent 20 years in prison. I'm more in there than I am on the planet Earth. I spend more time incarcerated. So it was like, to me, it was like, this is normal, because as you level up in the crime game, you get more time, you go to different places, it's more harder. And every time I went to them places, I seen faces that was familiar. My homies was, damn, wow, what's up, man? What's up, man? They give you your package, your care package, all the contraband they got. You just in it. I'm talking about, I was so entrapped in that mindset and that lifestyle to the point where as though, I remember one day I was so used to doing time, I forgot it was my birthday. The only reason I remember it because grandma always come through. It was mail time. But I'm sitting there, laying on the bed, chilling. I think I was reading the Donald Goins book or something. I'm in there looking at the cloud, and you hear that slide under the door. So I'm like, what the? I got down, and I opened it, and I was so messed up, I cried, because I was like, damn, because you be in there, you be so alone a lot of times, and you just be like, you forget anything that's important, because I'm just living the day, and you just know, this is when I could get out. This is when I could go see parole. It'd be 10 years, you like, that's all you chasing. Everything else don't matter. You know what I mean? I just knew certain things, like Mother's Day, holidays, make sure I send my grandma, mom some cards and all that. But like, when you, listen, one thing about our culture, man, people only love you when they see you.
Yeah. So, and you know what? We got this joke. We used to laugh. We used to look at CNN in jail, me and the homies. We used to be in the day room like, look at this clown shit. Michelle Alexander came out with a book called The New Jim Crow. Mm-hmm. I stepped to her too when she came to the jail. I had to ask her some questions because she was on the other side at once. She was, So I said, and I'm wondering, I'm like, you wrote this book, it's cool, you go talk about it, get paid. But I said, damn, everybody
It seems like we only jump on people in prison when it's fashionable. We talks about it, but who, like we ain't seen nobody coming up there. We ain't seen nobody sending no cards. We ain't seen nobody sending no words of encouragement. Only time you hear people talking about it is a bunch of people that's on CNN that's getting paid to talk, or that's supposed to be politically correct. It's the right thing. My brothers, the brothers did. We don't never see y'all. When we in the hole, we getting maced, we getting beat. We don't never see y'all. You got your education, and it's, you might be a college kid. It's just hip. It's hip to have a Malcolm X shirt. It's hip to and fashionable to talk about the struggle, to wear the struggle. But you just like the white folks. You don't want to come near the struggle. You don't want to get on the front line and try to help the people that's in the cause. So I said, okay, I got something for them. I'm going to get out there and speak on behalf of y'all. I'm going to speak on behalf of the people that I need to make sure they don't see the penitentiary outside, to wake our people up and shake them up in an unorthodox way, because it's like the way we receive information is different. See, me, I come from a place where, as though, I don't really care how you feel about me. Once I came to the point where I'm in the cell and the guard coming in anytime, tell me to strip, all this, it was just like, after that, it's like I ain't even feel no more. So it was like, not in that bad way to make me turn it up and be a demon, but in a way of, oh man, I can't really care about what nobody think about me after this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to go to that phase in life where you just say, I don't really care no more. Because a lot of people out here, I'm realizing, is they so pimped. They whores the people perceptions of them, their future perceptions.
And they don't even know.
They on the street corner, they selling, they whores. So it'd be like, because you'll be in a house and you be chilling, right? You be ready to get dressed. And that first thing you put on that you're like, damn, it's like. And then you look at it and you go look in the mirror and be like, no, I don't want to wear this. You're not wearing it because of you. You're wearing it because you think somebody not going to be an approval to what you got on. You're being pimped by people, future perception. You scared of the future. You scared to death. Me, I put it on and do what I want to do. And it's to the point where I just be laughing out here.
People being pimped and they don't even know.
Yeah, people be looking, like people that know me close, they be like, yo, you crazy. Because I'm laughing and tripping off people. Because my thing is like, wow. When I had got that phone for the first time in prison, I came alive. Because when I looked at the phone, this was so crazy.
I got so many questions, but you
gonna go.
keep going.
I
want you to listen.
This one was crazy.
Y'all know me, if y'all listen to the podcast, I would have been interactive, but I'm just let them go.
Listen, I don't care about none of that. Listen, all the rules that the human being, I'm from another planet, so I don't care about that. I do what I want to do. So listen, what happened is, listen, it was like, you know how like a kid open up them toys, that favorite toy, so when my homie bring me the cell phone in the joint, I got this thing called the Book of Life where I write everything down. And I used to do interviews with people that come to jail, like young boys. I'm like, yo, what's going on out there? That's all I want to know. Oh yeah, that ain't there no more, that building, I want to know everything. So there was this one dude, he used to always tell me about Google and all that. I used to be like, man, you lying, man. Because in jail, this is why a lot of people, the recidivism rate is so high, because people in jail is on dinosaur time. The education is about dinosaur. They're not teaching you how about app development and how to fix cell phones,
or how to
just
come out and be assimilated.
No, they still talking about plumbing. Why I need you to teach me how to plumb something when I go on YouTube University?
Well, it's a bunch of real estate investors in here, so we want plumbers.
Listen,
but go ahead.
Listen, no, I'm just saying they want plumbing, but I go on YouTube University and fix my toilet. You think what I'm saying? I don't need you to give people something that they really can tap into, and you got to know how the conversation of how can you take this hustle you was doing in the street and this hustle over here. How can you be the middleman to articulate this to these guys and tell them how close it is? And the only person they got to really deal with is Uncle Sam over here, and they got to deal with the police, the snitch, the rat, all this other stuff. The police, you ain't got to deal with the parole man and all that, the sticker boy.
All right, wait. Okay, hold on. I need you to talk about something real specific. You like that, don't you? You like that, don't you?
Let me go. I'm Wallow 267. I'm here to give you news you use. We understand you drink water, but nothing is like the anti-hustle water. See, the thing about this water, what it do to you, it makes your soul glow. It makes your heart dance. This is the water that you need in your life. I see you working out. I see it's a hard time and you just need that drink and get you back up, that vitamin shot, that shot that's going to push you to the next levels of life. This is your water. I'm Wallow 267, bringing you the news you use. Anti-hustle water.
Success. But it's better than success.
There's something about this. There's something about this. This how I got me. It got me to where there's something in there. We need a partner in this.
Okay. You are crazy. So, all right. You talked about what you were like before you went to prison, what you were like in the early days of prison. Like, obviously, those first 5 years you were in the juvenile system and the first couple of years. What made you come on the other side? Like, what was that defining moment that defined the old Wallow to the new Wallow? Mike. The mic.
My cellie was in the yard. So I'm laying on the bed, I'm looking at the ceiling. And I'm like, yo. Because earlier that day I was thinking about how much time I did.
How old were you at this time?
I don't remember. I just know I was in the
It's
cell.
important.
I know, but I was hot in the cell. We ain't had no AC in there. I don't remember stuff like that. I was sweating in that joint. I just knew that. That's why I woke up that day. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, the devil coming. I'm in trouble today. I got to get it right. So I'm in there sweating bullets. It probably was like, how much time I had in, about 15 years or something? Because I was just living in there. I just wanted to get out. But it hit me that I got down, jumped off the bed. I said, come on. I'm saying, I got to do 7,300 days in prison, right? And I'm like, that's a long time. I'm like, why did I get here? And then it zoomed back in my mind that every time something happened, when we was out there operating outside of law, I was always questioning things. Like my homie shoots somebody, I'm like, yo, dog, why are you shooting? You already took this. What's like, no, why are you tripping, man? It ain't fucking, we don't care. And I used to always question little things. Yo, why you do? It was always a why to me because I couldn't understand certain things. So I realized that I wasn't all the way in this. And it wasn't like on the tip, like, but I knew something. I was just in it because I thought it was what's name, but I didn't know all this extra stuff come with it. And I had to realize that some of the homies, they really went all the way in. And I thought we just came in the game to get some money and to better our conditions. Like, or try to, because this is the only way that we thought that we could get money because we was educated. So I'm like, yo, and when I got to prison, this was one thing, and that joint always stuck to me. It was this dude that I came up to the penitentiary with, When we came up to Dallas, we was on the bus kicking in, shackled up. Yeah, you from what's name? Yeah, okay, I know what's name. What's up with him? Yeah, we was down juvenile joint, we talking. So when we get to the prison, one morning, me and my OG, we walking the child. It could be dead summertime. You be having your winter coat on because dudes be strapped up, wax and all. So we walking the child, we kicking it. So you just see this commotion up a way. And you see this boy, he laying on the ground, see it from distance, boy stabbing him. I'm talking about this dude was stabbing him till his hand got tired. You just seen it, he just kept going, right? And it was like this. This how it was. As we coming now, it's cool. They gonna hear it. Oh, my fault. I don't know nothing about this. So as we coming, I'm walking my old head, and you can see the boy. His body is just jumping off the ground. The boy hitting him, and it's like everybody like this. So I'm like, yo, I'm ready to go. My old head grabbed me by my. Oh, that ain't for us. He not with us. That ain't us. This life. So I realized, whoa, we just normalized by this. This is normal. This is normal shit. So I'm like, whoa, I can't hold. I'm like, whoa. So and now this when I was younger, but I was the same one later on telling the young boys that came through the penitentiary, that came from the neighborhood, listen, let me give you the game. You're gonna see a lot of things, but it ain't your business. So I became him, the old head. So I'm like, whoa. So I'm like, oh, that stuff ain't normal. And this was like after I wrote one of the young boys' letters because I couldn't get to him because he was another part of the jail. I sent him something, I gave him the game. Like, listen, man, you're going to see a lot of stuff that you ain't in agreement with. Mind your business and keep moving. So it was like.
You're part of the problem.
I was a person that always cared about life.
Right.
Now I'm not him no more. So when I got up, I said, whoa, hold up. First of all, I'm in prison for being somebody that I'm not. I'm in prison. You mean to tell me I did all this time because I was out here friend and I'm really not this person because I care? I really love. I'm really a human being. And I ain't no, is you kidding me? I said, oh, I'm a nut. I said, listen, man. Listen. I said, listen.
I gotta laugh extra hard because all of us, how many of us have had that moment?
I'm like, I'm a
when we wake up and we like, I did this and that and the other. And it could be work, it could be relationship, it could be anything. You spend your time, go hard for something, and then you wake up, it's just to be a small thing. And you're like, yo, I was nutty.
Yeah, so I'm in the cell. My cellie, he was saying, I'm sweating bullets. I'm in the mirror like, yo, you tripping. And I'm talking, because listen, I'm talking to myself like, yo, you's a real live nut. I'm just like, oh, I'm leaning on the side. I'm like, this shit is crazy. You got caught up, how you? And then I realized the person that get kind the most on the planet Earth is the street dude, because he believed that he's really in control of everything, and he's really not. So you got kind of believe that this is the only way you can live. So I'm like, this ain't me, I'm tripping. But then I had to take accountability, even though it's not me. I did what I did. And I always was sorry for my did, because you know brandishing the gun to somebody can change their life forever. You know, even if you don't touch them and shoot them. So I'm like, wow. And that's when everything changed. And I started separating myself from individuals that was inside of the joint, because I realized they couldn't see far. They didn't realize the world was bigger than the street corner. So I'm like, whoa. And when that hit, it was over.
What was your first course of action? Did you get a book? What did you do?
No, my first course of action was, I said, I got to fall back from the yard for a couple of days.
Okay.
The homies can't see me because I got to get some distance. I want them to believe, wow, Lo going through something. He's stressed out. He's stressing.
Right.
So I used to tell them, man, I'm going through something, just to get away from them, because they're going to be like, damn, wow, what's up? You know what I mean? Because they want to come to the yard, and we got to trade the stories from yesterday. Because in prison, dudes is not letting yesterday over. You got dudes right now that got locked up in 82 that's still showing you pictures. Listen, man, this one I had. I'm telling you, man, I had the game. They better not let me back out. Is on, baby. Them type dudes. You got boys, you'll see him and you be like, damn, old head, got his pants creased, got his parted to the side, he got the hook. I'm telling you, young blood, I get the street. When I hit the streets, it's gonna be on, man. It's gonna be a bad situation to set. I'm like, you talking like you in a American Pimp or something. Like it's a different time over here. That's
but you know what? Even out here, we all know people that still live in the past. I know about 3 or 4 people that still live in the past, and I'll be like, I'm gonna call you back.
I met with somebody the other day. They were talking about some business stuff, and I'm like, first of all, let me tell you something. I'm not here to tell you about business. We already know that, because that's not my area of concentration. My area of concentration is the push through. I specialize in rough times and how to get through the rough times. I'm gonna give you the game of how I did and how you could tap in, but you gotta let a lot of BS go. They told me something. Yeah, you know, I said, listen. Let me tell you something. All that wood and that don't count. Because them moves is not representing your bank account statement right now, and that's over. Let it go, please.
Right.
Please let it go.
Right.
You can use that in your bio or what's the name, but listen, your next move better be your best move in order to get respected. Other than that, nobody cares. Nobody do. Shut up, please. Let it go.
All right. Okay. So you first changed your environment and changed the people that you surrounded yourself with. What was the next thing that you did?
The next thing was, I used to read so much. And then I started connecting with the library. See, my library was different than everybody else's library. So I started connecting with libraries. And it was like.
What made your library so different?
What you mean?
What made your library?
No, because everybody in here is a part of the library. See, I looked at everybody on the planet as a book.
Okay.
You got comic books, you got street novels, you got educational books,
That's
you got
true.
books on mortgage, you got books on real estate, you got books on the clothing business. Everybody is a book. What books are you gonna connect with? So now I started connecting with the people that I used to see in the law library, certain people, and I used to be like, damn, old head, what's up? What's going on, youngin'? Listen, man, listen, make sure you be in the library every night at 7 o'clock. That's when I be here. That's the only time you can talk to me. Cool. So I go holler at him about whatever it is about. And I be like, no, that ain't my cup of tea. I put that book back on the shelf. Then, in the course of that, I always keep a comic book around. You got to keep a clown close. So where's no, straight up.
Okay, why? Tell us about that.
Because I like to laugh. I'm gonna listen. Because some people call me. I'm some people comic book. Let me call Wallow. He gonna say something. What's up, man? Oh man, I'm chilling. Oh, where you at, man? Because some people watch me on the gram like, yo, this bull funny. I'm like, it don't even matter. Because as long as you think, laughing, and crying while you watch my visuals, that's all that matters.
Right.
The whole thing is I'm gonna give you the reality of life. No cut. And ain't gonna be all, I ain't gonna have all this materialism on the page, none of that. I'm gonna give you it raw and uncut, and that's it. So what happened was I started tapping into them different people, and I read a quote by Oprah when I was in the joint, and she said, surround yourself only with people that can lift you higher. I said, wow. So now I'm dealing with people in the joint. I volunteered to go work in the hospital. Best thing that ever happened to me. So I'm working in the hospital, And the lady like, yeah, well, I said, yeah, I just come down to sweep and chill because they had AC in the house. So I'm like, yeah, I really, I'm running, now I go to the street more, I'm running my game. I'm like, yeah, I just running just down the third, best thing that happened to me. So she's like, no, you're not working there, you're gonna work for them. So I go in this side room, I see these people I never seen in the prison before, these old people, and like people that was ill, and I'm like, damn, man, they sick, man, what type, you know what I mean? So I asked the one dude, I said, damn, what's up with them, man? He said, a lot of them, man, it's their last day, they got cancer, AIDS, and all that. I said, what? I said, they gotta die in the joint. A lot of them had life, so they got to die here in order to get parole. That's their parole when they expire. It's over. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, these boys, they ain't letting these boys go home. So I was pissed about that. I'm like, why they ain't letting these boys? Some of these dudes are old. Now, it was this one old head named Shorts. He was from Diamond Street, right? This boy, man, I'm telling you, he epitomized a street dude, right? So I walked back there one day, and he said, young buck, come here, young buck. I said, what's up, man? He said, what's up? You work back here. Take this, go get me this, that, and the third. I said, man, all right, man, damn, because he was real gangster, right? So I go get it. Even though he was dying of AIDS or whatever, right? I'm like, all right. He said, the lady said, don't let none of them smoke back there. I said, all right, that's right. This not on my watch. Ain't nobody smoking. I got to take care of their health. So he come, one day he said, youngin', listen, when you go back to the block, bring me back a pack of Newports. I said, okay, cool, whatever you say. I'm like, I gotta bring him. So I go back and ask my one, I said, yeah, he said, yeah, that's the OG, man. Take care of him back, that's all right, cool. So I come back, I said, listen, man, don't let them people find out. He said, listen, you ain't running this, I'm running this. I do what I want to. Just go get me that lighter. I said, all right, I light it up. Greatest stories of my life. He said, man, I said, so how long you been in prison? He was in prison for like 30-something years. He said, listen, man, he smoked. He said, listen, let me tell you something, young buck. I said, man, he said, I got a lot of regrets, man. He said, there's a lot of things I wanted to do, but I never did, and I was scared. And then when I looked at it, I'm like, I'm scared to do real life things and ideas, but I ain't scared to pull a gun out and do some real stuff that could jeopardize my life. He said, you young. He said, you better go out there and do everything you want to do, how you want to do it. And excuse my friends, he said, whoever don't like it, fuck them. Fuck them, youngin'. Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? He said, I hadn't had it. I didn't know how to pull the trigger and just say F everybody. This, that, and third. So now I'm coming back every day. He telling me all type of war stories. He telling me about this, how he robbed banks and all this stuff. I'm just listening to everything. But nothing stuck out more than what he told me. So now I'm like, damn, that do make sense. Because he said, listen, youngin'. He said, I got some people that like me in life. Some people, some family members, some of my homies from the gang. But everybody else on the planet that don't like me, they could kiss my black ass. I said, damn. I said, you want them to do? Yeah, they could kiss my black ass. I don't give a, I said, wow. I said, okay. And then I just thought about it. And I tell a lot of people this today. I need everybody to raise their hand and listen to Marilyn Manson.
Nobody listens to Marilyn Manson. Who listens to Marilyn Manson? You're like, maybe? You listen to Marilyn Manson?
Newsflash.
What?
There's 7.7 billion people on the planet.
Okay.
You don't need everybody. He don't need us. He's still winning.
Right.
See, that's the key.
Right.
That's the key.
I love this. Wallow does this all the time in regular conversation. He sets you up.
That's the key.
You see how he set me up about that book thing? I had a different library than everybody else and went on. He knew I was going to come back and be like, tell me about this library that you had.
That's the key.
He set you right up.
That's the key. See, we get caught up in this. Oh, they don't like me. They don't like me. They don't like me. Instead of being caught up in, like I told him on the gram the other day, stop giving attention to your haters in the dark and start giving attention to your supporters in the light.
Yes.
We always worrying about, everybody is crazy. Everybody, for some reason, everybody got all these magical and these ghost haters. Oh, people hating on me. People keep hating on me. No, you're bullshitting. You ain't doing what you want to be doing and you trying to blame it on somebody else instead of taking accountability for your actions or your lack of them. Because
if you was doing what you were supposed to be doing, you wouldn't even know what the heck. Yo, people be coming to me telling me like such and such. I be like, wait, what? I thought everybody loved me.
And then it's to the point.
I don't know what's going on.
And then it's to the point like, who really cares? Because haters is your marketing team. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if I come up and say, what's your name, brother? Harvest. If I say, man, you know what, Harvest is nut, man. Harvest. And I told everybody about Harvest. Yeah, Harvest. You know what everybody gonna do?
Look, find out who Horace is.
So you need some haters out. You need it. That's your marketing team. Let them work. Listen, I told one person, listen, man, I got this person, man, they hating on me, this, that, third, man. I'm going to holler at them, this, that, third. I said, no, don't do that. You got a business you running. You need them to talk. That's free marketing. You ain't got to pay for ads and none of that. I said, you tripping. I said, let them get busy. Because you know what the reality is like, you got that on your business side, and then you got people with these great services. Listen, I had 2 people tell me about Better Than Success. I didn't ask them nothing. But I said, I'm fishing. I said, okay, so how do you make your moves? Like, how did you get introduced to your moves? I'm lining up. I don't know they was about here because they're your best marketer, the people that's actually benefiting from your company. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay. I said, so break it down to me. They was able to articulate what Better Than Success do in a nanosecond. Now that's important. What's important is I don't have time for this long drawn out. Don't tell me about your degree but you're trying to tell me you got a degree doing your language and your delivery, what you got. I don't care about none of that. Don't nobody care. What is the product you selling? How can it benefit me? And why is your price better than everybody else's? And listen, if you can't articulate that, find somebody that can, because you disconnected from the culture of the consumers. You got to find somebody that can, because the problem with a lot of these businesses, and this is why I talk to a lot of businesses, I stand on the table, get in my crazy manager, I say, y'all got some good ideas, but you know one thing that y'all missing? Y'all not relatable. You don't speak the language of now, and you're too drawn out. It's too dragged out. It's just too, listen, people want to know this. If I'm going on the timeline, right, you got to make me stop, and you got to hold on, because after I pass you, I'm going somewhere else, and I could be thrown off. We so easily thrown off of where we say we want to go at. So your brand got to pop. It got to jump out. It got to grab me, and when it grab me, you got to hold my hand and take me to the finish line, which is cha-ching. If we don't do that, something's wrong. But you know what happened to us, especially as black folks? We get our education, we get our titles, CEO, this and the third, and we forget one thing that's more important. Even if you're the title and you running that company, you still work for the consumer.
That's the truth.
You work for the consumer. Now, what happened is they get so big-headed to the point where, oh, I'm a CEO, I got this, that, and the third. You forgetting customer service. You supposed to be sit back sometime, take them calls and say, okay, because the greatest products came off of customer service, the ideas. Take them calls and say, how you doing? This is Becky. I work for such and such, such and such, such. How can I help you? Oh, yeah? Write them down. And have your whole team write down what the customer's saying and how you can improve, because they're going to give you the game of how you can improve or what's not there. Or what's not there, that little game that they give you, you be like, wow, they didn't enhance my company. I'm making more money because of my customers, just because I listened and I didn't think I was so big to where as though I'm not reachable. People mess with me because I'm obtainable. They going to see me somewhere and I'm going to stop. Like I told this one person, they supposed to be famous and everything. I said, yo, they said, man, no, straight up. She said, wow, you stop for everybody. I said, why not? See, you got to understand something important. In order for the big people at the top of the ladder to pull you up, the small people at the bottom of the ladder got to say here. See, the bottom dictate the culture. The bottom dictate everything. When you hear about certain things, or whether it's a new music, whether it was something at the bottom they introduced to you, not the top.
Right.
And then they on their way to the top. But in order for somebody to pull you on top of that ladder, you got to put your work in at the bottom. They make the people at the bottom scream and yell about you.
Right.
That's where we disconnect in business.
You're right. Hold on. I have a question. I've been trying to jump in and ask you this question. All right. So you moved from the old Wallow to the new Wallow. You did the rest of your time in prison. You came out. Mm-hmm. What's the business move?
The business move, I said, listen, man. I used to tell my homie in jail, I said, listen, man, I'm going to sell some shirts. He said, what? Because I'm fascinated. Like, what I like to look at, I love logos. I love fonts. I love fun. That drives me crazy. I used to have my peoples going Amazon. Amazon's a crazy thing too. That just blew my mind. I'm like, they got used books for 50 cents? You lying. Send me 100 books right now, all dealing with fonts and logos and all, because I'm fat. I love that. Mm. So I'm like, wow, I used to look at it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna kill them when I get out there. Because I said, all it took is a saying. All it takes is a saying. And I said, my hustle is my muscle. I said, can't nobody out hustle me, because now I ain't got to worry about the police. I ain't got to duck and dodge them. It's on. So I said, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to listen. And as you can see, if you follow me, you see me selling T-shirts in the wintertime out the trunk, out of my homie trunk that I hitched the ride from. Yo, where you going at? You going from where? I need to go there. I got 2 stops I got to make. Because I said, social media, you mean to tell me these people created a platform well, I can make millions of dollars and I ain't got to get them nothing because they're using my data and my analytics to sell the other brands. Oh, it's fair exchange and no robbery. Go ahead, do what you want to do. You giving me this platform? And I said, damn. I said, that's how you come up. So then I understood, whoa, you make more money providing a platform for people for free to enhance their business and thing than you do selling something. So what I said was, okay, I'm gonna sell my merchandise. I'm gonna give up some game to the people, not just the kids, everybody. I'm gonna give up game because I realized that people was, they messed up. Adults and all, most especially the adults, they goofier than the kids. Because the kids, see the thing I like about the kids is they got imagination still because they still naive. Naive is a beautiful thing because now you ain't got no boundaries of what you can't do because you think you could do anything. So I'm like, wow. So I'm like, I gotta get these adults because these adults is, they messed up. So now I'm like, all right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sell this merchandise, I'm gonna give up some game, and when I say game, I'm talking about guidance, attention, motivation, education. I'm gonna get that up every day, and what I'm gonna do is, damn, this is my network. This is like, I'm like TV1, BET.
Right, you got your own platform.
I'm gonna do a commercial, and my commercial is gonna be, I'm gonna go to these businesses, and I'm gonna talk about the business. Yeah, I'm Wallow 267, this and that third, boom, boom, I'm right here with such and such, such, such. Tell them what you got going on. I'm gonna do something to nobody else, and I'm gonna create a platform for the people that need it to amplify what they got going on. So now I'm creating a different type of service, whereas though right now, once I get my proof of concept that my commercials work, then I'll be able to monetize that. Then I'll be able to sell promotional packages and all that, but I gotta get my proof of concept. So once that start happening, they're like, wow. So I got that, got the website. I'm like, okay, so now I'm doing all this in the third, and now people just start calling me to speak. So now me coming from the streets, I knew something. If you calling me for a university, I'm like, whoa, they got some money. So now I'm believing in myself all the way through. Because I was in the streets, and I had this thing in the streets where as though I was fearless, and I knew every day that I came out of the crib, I was getting money, and I didn't have no doubt about that. So now I'm in this corporate world, I said, oh, I gotta step up. What is my worth? So you had this one dude, he's a real estate guy in Philly, he come to me, he said, listen, wow, I got a bag for you, I got something for you, man, I just need you to come through and speak. I say, cool, I'm gonna come through. Because at this time, I was doing a little stuff for free, but I was doing something for a little money too, coming to do speaking again. So I go through the joint, rip it apart for like 15 minutes, right? So the next morning, I go to his office. He said, come down. I said, he called me, I forgot all about it. So I come down. So his people was writing the check. He said, what's your name? I said, get my ID. Yeah, I ain't sweating it. I only killed 15 minutes. Gave me $2,000. I said, ooh, talk to me. I said, okay, this is what I like. I come back again, give him 27 minutes. He gave me another $2,000. But in the process of this, university called me. So I get the phone number. I said, how you doing? Yeah, we like to speak to Wallow 267, this and third. This is such and such from university. Oh, this is his manager. How you doing? How you doing? They said, and this is how it went. It was crazy. Yeah, we like to get him to speak, this and that third, boom, boom, boom. What is the speaking topics? I go right into my zone, and I just go right at the dehumanization of black people by the black culture. They said, wow, I never heard of that. Could you elaborate more? Well, it's really talking about how we dehumanize each other due to from media, from like a lot of things that we normalize that the average human would normalize, but we teaching ourselves this within the culture. Like, for example, when a little kid falls on a swing or something, his father probably grab him, hit him, boy, don't cry, don't cry. We teach each other to ignore our emotions and this, that. Oh, no more, save it. Oh my God, that is great. What is Wallow 267 fee? Like, how much would he charge? You know, he can also talk about criminals. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that later, but we want that topic. We never heard of that before. How much is his fee? I'm like, excuse me, hold up a minute. Let me take this call. Could you hold on? I'm like, so I'm walking around. Listen, I'm living in my grandmom's middle room on a twin-size bed. On a twin-size bed. Now listen, this is a story about that. I'm gonna take it back. I made parole. Only reason I got to live there, bless her heart. My Aunt Ruby, she died in this. She had a heart attack in this room. She died. And that's the only reason I was able to parole to the house. Other than that, I was going to a halfway house. So I'm in there, and I love this place because this is where I was born at. And I'm like, wow. I said, whew. So as I got him on hold, I'm like, damn. I'm looking around the room. I said, I need a lot of stuff. Only thing I had was this. I just had these two phones. This is what I was doing all my videos with. And I said, if these got me this, my belief in myself gonna give me this bankroll. I'm ready to tell him. I said, how you doing? Oh yeah, his fee will be $7,500. She said, okay, is it a 50% deposit? I said, yes, it is. I said, hold on one more time. I'm like, got this motherfucker. Yeah. I said, so now I'm like this. I got on hold. I'm like, yeah. I said, Nanny. So she now says, boy, what you hollering in my house for? Nanny, listen, these people ready to give me a check. How much they giving you? $7,500. How long you want, baby? I'm like, this. So it's on now. So I'm like, I click back on. I said, yeah, this, that, third. And I said, what is the time that you need? You know our time is 40 minutes. Oh, sure, that's not. I said, all this. I said, you mean to tell me I had guns? I ain't never get no $7,500 this easy. I said, is you kidding me? So I said, if they give me $7,500, I should have said 12. I'm worth about 10 right now. So I'm like, listen. So I'm like, bet. I'm like, it's on now. You can, listen, no one can stop me at this. So now I'm like, this, bet. The next thing you know, another university. I'm down at University of Maryland. I'm like, bet. So now, but it was that belief in myself. I tapped in and I knew who I was because I said, I'm not going to come out here and do something that everybody do. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take this phone. Only thing I wanted when I came home was 2 phones. I told my sister, I need one to record. I need one to just talk all day on. And that was it. So I said, all right, you mean to tell me I was able to make this money off this phone? Like people say, what is your business? I'd be like, you know what I mean? I can't really truly, there's no description of what I do. I just push people. So it was like, that was the business model. And at the end of the day, I believe that I'm able to make a human connection with people that most people ain't, because somebody could connect with me, whether it's, damn, he reminded me of my crazy ass uncle. He reminded me of my little brother. I wish he was my father. So straight up, these are stuff, so it's different things that connect, and I'm relatable to the culture of now and tomorrow, and even to coaches outside of the black culture, they mess with me. Because they like, this dude really don't care. He's not judgmental. He's transparent. We see his whole life. Wherever he's going through it about his brother getting killed, he's going to give us his whole life. He's not going to think he's better than you. He's not going to lead with materialism. He's going to lead with his truth, regardless of who like it, who don't like it. He's going to check you, and he's going to tell you something that you already know, but you didn't execute, because every time you see a lot of my posts, you will see a girl say, girl, wasn't we just talking about that? And I had 3, 4 of her friends. Only thing I'm telling you is that you know what to do. You just don't want to execute. I'm just a reminder.
Right.
That's where the game change at. And I'm necessary out there because of that. Because I really don't care how you like me or if you don't. Right. I'm still going to make my moves. My bank account is still going to be decorated.
I like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Because you know why? You know why? This is what people don't understand. They worry about this and that. The most important thing is this. Newsflash. The interior decorator and the stylist of your bank account is your grind. And if you don't have it, your bank account will not be decorated.
I know that's right.
That's the bottom line.
I know that's right.
No matter, you know this person or know that person. Relationships only work when they're able to be activated because of the grind that you establish. There's so many people in this room that I can know. But if I'm not making nothing happen, I can't. The relationship that we have, you can't call your person out in Cali or call your person in New York for me because I'm not doing nothing. Right. And a lot of times we think just because we know somebody that can change lives, that they just supposed to magically, you're not bringing nothing to the table. What value do you bring to value? Because if you don't bring value to value, you devalue value.
Amen. Yes.
That's what it's about.
Yes.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about, because people will sit here and they just magically think just because you my friend, you're supposed to put me on. Just because, no. The truest friends, and this is deep. A stranger is a friend you haven't met. Them strangers that you're going to meet during your journey is going to be the ones that's going to open up. They're going to have the keys to open up them locked doors that you've been trying to get into all these years. You just didn't realize, damn, I got some friends, but as I'm dealing with the right friends with the area of concentration that I'm dedicating myself to. See, all friends don't align with your journey. And like I tell it, everybody can't go because everybody might be ready to be that person to be able to encourage, nurture, and just respect your dreams and your approach and your journey. So we got to stop holding on that's my friend. That's your friend in this department of life, not in this department of life.
Right.
This the money right here. Mm-hmm. So just because you're your friend, you thinking, oh, no, they post. No. It's not their duty to do what you think you need them to do, because that's not their passion. It's your passion. Only thing you need your friend to be, if they want to buy something, support, or share the word, that's it. But don't try to bring them in on business with you, because that's not what they do. Because if that's what they do, that's what they would have been doing already.
Right.
So when somebody say, oh yeah, I can make some moves with this, I can make this move with this money, this, then the third. Well, if you can make this move with my money, why you ain't already making it happen with your money?
How you doing?
Think about that.
right, so Wallo, we're gonna wind this down. Why don't you give one piece of advice? This room is full of entrepreneurs. One piece of advice for someone that's trying to get more customers, get more sales, because you hit the ground running.
Connect with the people that speak the language of your consumers. Number one. Know your strength, hire your weakness. If you're good at strategic stuff, if you're good at finding the homes, you might not be good at selling the homes. Get you a mouthpiece.
Right.
Find somebody out there in the field, and they might not come how you want them to come, but they could come to deliver. See, it's about the delivery. It's not about how they look, what's the name, where the environment from. Can you execute what I need you to execute? Stop looking at all the other stuff. Is they gonna be cool for my parties? And another thing, stop going to all these how should I say, these celebrations events. People celebrating, getting these. I tell everybody, anything you got for me, send it in the mail, because I'm out here working. Because when you working, you ain't got time to be at all these celebrations of, oh yeah, we got this banquet, we got this going. Come on, man, that's all bullshit. You ain't doing nothing.
That's why everything we do is a celebration. There's something educational involved.
But somebody done something. So my whole thing is like, you got to tap into you, and you got to believe in you. When that tough time come, when that money ain't coming in, that same belief you had at the beginning, that same belief that you had when you got through that rough moment, you got to reconnect with that moment and get through it again. That's important. That's very important. And as entrepreneurs, what we got to start doing, we got to, listen, go through all your stuff with all your names on, your business cards, your bio, and please do me a favor, get all the bullshit all there that you're not really doing to try to enhance value, because people see through all that. Because if you're really doing this, you ain't got time to be doing this, that, and the third. It's only 24 hours in the day. So people looking at you like, oh, you just, and some of us is great adults in here, but it's like, oh, you just bullshitting like a lot of these millennials. You ain't really doing it. I understand the look is the hook, but nah. The people that's really on the next level, they need to know, what do you specialize in? How do you specialize in it? Is you good? Because some of y'all could just be good. Is somebody in here that could just find people that could speak the language that everybody in here that got a business customer need to know? That could be your business. Let me go to the bottom, or let me go find people that know how to utilize their mouthpiece. Because if you speak well, you're going to eat well, and you definitely going to sleep well. You need a mouthpiece. I don't care what you selling. You need a mouthpiece and somebody that's relatable. That's the only thing that's disconnecting y'all from the millions with y'all names on it. Because y'all don't have nobody that can sell your brand, that can sell your idea. And a lot of people, they got people that can sell their brand and sell their idea, and their service is not better than any of y'all's. But they was able to get to them. They was able to get through the door. So find people that articulate your brand, your service, and why people need to deal with y'all in a nanosecond. Because we got too much things to be doing every day, to be sitting there waiting for this long, drawn-out story of why I should be using your service. This is why, this is how, and this is now. And that's how it's supposed to be, and it's just like that. Thank you, everybody.
That's the truth. So, Wallo, why don't you tell everyone if you have anything coming up and where everyone can find you and reach you? Any big events, anything
reach
coming
me
up?
right there.
Wallo267 on Instagram.
The Roots Picnic.
You speaking at the Roots Picnic?
Yeah, me and my man Quincy Harris.
Oh, that's awesome.
What else?
Q was on the show before.
I got so much stuff. Man, I listen on some real stuff.
And then where can they buy your merchandise?
You go to wallo267.com. I be so caught up in just executing that I got my people that handle all it. They just tell me, hey, yo, crazy man, you know you got to be such and such. Where? I got to be to New York? All right, I'm driving right now. I forgot. I was just executing.
Keep your head down.
So I'm not, that's what they good at. So you got to find the people that's good at what they do. I just know how to get busy. Okay. I know how to get in the field and operate. You know what I mean? But like y'all go there, I got so much. There's so much stuff.
If you want a commercial for your business, talk to him.
The package is real. I come out, listen, man. I'm telling you, man. You see the numbers, they change, but I ain't got to sell it. You know what time it is.
Yeah, definitely. Please, seriously, guys, seriously consider hiring him to make a commercial. Post it on his page. I know he got 100,000 followers.
Oh, you know what? The one thing that you probably didn't notice about this, it just happened to me. This water have created an air conditioner in my chest. This is some real good water. This is some real good water. This is the new water, that air conditioner water, that internal air conditioner. God damn it. This is spectacular. With Nikki Purvy. Oh, pretty Nikki. Prince was talking about you.
Yes.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
Oh, that's where you get all that money from.
Wallow always called me that every time he
He
called.
was something else.
Well, thank you for coming to the show, Wallow.
Anytime, you know where I'm
Thank you so much.
at. Anytime.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to have one question because we don't got a lot of time. One, and make it good one. Don't ask nothing crazy.
No. They can ask whatever. I'm open book.
I
We
know,
ain't
but
gonna
I want to
censor
make it a
nobody.
good one because we only got time
All
for
right,
one.
Don't censor nobody, though, Nick. Please, don't do that.
One good question. To know that everybody is relying on you to ask one good question. Who has a good question? Y'all scared? I scared y'all, huh? You got a question. This is Henry. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? That's a good one.
In a place called Mars, to the moon. Married. I'm talking about married. You know, kids running around driving me crazy. And I don't even seek it, but I know it's going to come. A whole lot of money. A whole lot of paper. Tony Robbins calling my phone every day, and I'm ignoring him. Yeah, that's it. Listen. If you don't believe, you know, because I ain't gonna hold you. Excuse my language, but I'm from a planet called fuck shit up. A lot of people never been there. That's why I get crazy every day and I get busy because I know who I am, regardless of where I was at yesterday. Because even though they had me in slave conditions, I still was a king. I never forgot that. So you got to believe, even when you're in a bad position, you still a queen or you still a king, and you're going to get through this. This is only momentarily, and there's places that's waiting for your arrival that you can't even imagine. And that's what it's about.
Yes. Mom, is it really good?
It is good.
My mom wants to ask a question, even though she did not care about my one question rule. Yes, Mom.
You mentioned an acronym, GAME.
Mm-hmm.
I missed what the acronym stands
Really?
No, she got
She could have waited until afterwards.
No,
She just wanted to break the rule.
Everybody always say they want game. And I say, and I had to break, I was in the cell one time, I'm talking to myself. He said, you always talking about game. He said, well, you keep telling, what type of game is you giving me? That's the whole key. I could be giving you street game, or I could be giving you business game. I could be giving you game on how to paint a house or how to fix a car. But when I say game, the game is universal. Guidance, attention, motivation, and education. Everybody needs guidance. Everybody needs some attention when you're giving them anything. Everybody needs some motivation, and everybody needs some education. And the education could be about real estate. It could be about silk screening. It could be about fixing the car. But that's the key. Everybody want game. Everybody. You know? And that's what game is about.
Yeah.
No problem. No
Thank you, Wallow.